Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 8 of the December Leetcode Daily Challenge. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's poem. Pairs of songs with total duration divisible by 60. So if you're new to this channel, just want to remind you that I usually solve these live. This is the first time I've seen this poem, or at least recently. And I even do the explanations live. So if it's a little bit slow, feel free to watch this on a faster speed or skip ahead. Okay, so you're given a list of songs where the duration as times of I, return the dome zone where the total duration is divided by 60. Formally, we want, okay. So yeah, so the naive way of thinking about it, right, is going to be, for I in range, of n, let's say n is equal to the length of the time, for j is in range sub n, and then if time sub I plus time sub j mod 60 is equal to 0. I mean, I need some parentheses somewhere. Count, add count, and then return count, something like that, right? I mean, it's not quite right, I know, but because I also have to, okay, fine, something like that, right? But it's not going to be right, just to be clear. I just wanted this for illustration. And you see me crank it out in about like half a second or whatever, but half a minute rather. But yeah, but the thing is that so what is the complexity, right? This is going to be n squared. You see that n is 60,000, which n squared is going to be way too slow, right? So that's not good. So the way to think about it is, okay, I call this prefix some dynamic programming, but you can also just keeping track. It's not necessarily dynamic programming, depending on who you ask, but that's the way that I think about it. But for this one, then you basically go well, it's not prefix sum, it's just prefix dynamic programming. Sorry, but yeah, you just process the number one at a time, and then you try to find things that would make it true, right? What I mean by that is that, okay, let's say you have the number 30, and we know that we want to count sum of the two things so that it's divisible by 60, right? So 30, what makes it what pairs with 30 to make it divisible by 60? Well, it's another 30, right? Or 90, or 150, and so forth, right? But basically, the mod of the opposite would add to 60. Same thing with 20, right? What's the opposite? Or in this case, it'll be 40, it'll be 100, it'll be 160. So basically 40 plus some multiple of 60, right? Same thing here, then it'll be 20 and so forth, or 30. Whoops, I can't do math. For 150. And that's basically the general idea that we can build off by keeping track of the numbers that we've seen that has these properties, and then adding to the sum as we go from left to right. Okay, so now, and as long as we're able to do that lookup in good time, which with a dictionary or hash table we would be, we should be able to do this in good time. Okay, cool. So basically now, let's just say for, I don't know, this is time, is kind of weird. It should be times, right? No. For time in times, we have I use a collection.counter, but it's, and what is a collection.counter, right? Collections.counter, it's basically a dictionary that maps, that's a key value of anything, and a value of an int. So basically just count stuff for you. So basically here, we want to reduce each number by mod 60, right? Because over 60, it doesn't really matter. Or if you have two numbers, a plus b, mod 60 is equal to a mod 60 plus b mod 60. Well, this whole thing mod 60, right? So keeping track of that, if a number is greater than 60 or negative, I guess, actually, but no, it cannot be negative, then we don't really have to care about the extra. We just have to care about the number that, minus 60, because as we said again, if it's 30, we only need, well, okay, that's an easy example, but if this is 20, you only need 40, or 100 or 160 and so forth, which is 40 plus I times 60. So if you mod 60, you still get 40, and they're inside the same what we would call equivalent class or equivalence class. Yeah, so they're in the same class, so you could group them together. So that's what we're going to do. Time mod 60, and we basically just increment this, right? Or let's say, yeah. So basically this will give us the counter, and as we go left to right, we keep track of the number of times that are mod 60. And then now we just have to keep track of the total pairs. And then the total pairs is equal to, what is it equal to, right? Well, as we said again, let's say we have 20, we're gonna look for 40. And we have 40, we're gonna look for 20, with 30, we look for 30. So you get the idea there, which is that you're looking for 60 minus the time mod 60. So let's do that. Minus, oops. Is this right? Well, it's mostly right, except for if time is 0 or time mod 60 is equal to 0, because then this would return 60. So we have to do one more mod 60. Oops, this is not total, but this is let's just call them reverse. I don't know. Or look up target. Let's go to target. And then total is the sum of this of target. And that should be pretty much it. So this is actually something that's let me talk about this in a second. Let me also check the other thing. Cool. So what is the complexity, right? Well, we look at each time in times. O of 1, we do O of 1 work per time, and because there's O of n times, it's going to be O of n time complexity. And in terms of space, because we use a hash table, it's also going to be linear space, which is O of n. So I would say these kind of problems have become more and more common, as I would say, for the interview and competitive programming. Definitely about, I would say, 10, 15 years ago, you don't really see these kind of problems. And the reason is because for C, C++, and maybe even Java, those kind of languages, it's uncommon to use hash tables in this way, because there's no reliable libraries back then. I mean, I know that as STL, but it wasn't that performant, and people didn't really use it in competitive for a while. Until a little bit later on. Maybe this is more than 10 years ago now. Maybe this is 20 years ago. But so these kind of dynamic programming, or I call it dynamic programming problems, or just remembering the past problems, doesn't really come up that much back then. So now it comes up a lot because people just expect you to use the libraries for, hash tables and stuff like that. So definitely get familiar with it. It's pretty cool once you get used to it. There are a lot of problems, a lot of variations on these things, so definitely upsolve them more. Cool, that's all I have for this problem. I'm going to take a quick look at the hint to see if I have anything. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, that is just the answer. It's not really a hint, but okay, cool. That's all I have for this problem. Let me know what you think, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.